Is Valor Victory Pacific DLC worth your time? Join me, Meow, to find out. Valor Victory is a digital adaptation of a board game by the same name, developed by Yobo Wargames and published by Slytherin Matrix Games, with a gameplay akin to Squad Leader by Avalon Hill. You must have the base game in order to play the Pacific DLC, and as of right now, DLC will set you back £8.50 or your regional equivalent. You get to play as Japanese, Chinese, British and Australians, and US forces. Included are 12 scenarios with 2 night scenarios, 5 unique maps and 2 map variations. Line of sight is now affected in the night scenarios, and bunkers, trenches, mines, and barbed wire are now hidden, if not within line of sight. The new UI is shiny and more thematic, giving you just a little more immersion into the game. The new jungle terrain poses a lot of interesting challenges that stem from the reduction of line of sight. It is claustrophobic, with every clearing a potential death trap, and extremely fun. A polar opposite of the previous DLC Kursk that had long, open spaces and wide fields of fire, posing a completely different set of challenges altogether. Artillery in general, and mortars in particular, do fantastic representation of the importance of artillery in World War II, which I felt was a little lacking in the main title and missions I played from other DLCs. As you can only fire your on-map mortars where any of your units have a line of sight to, with such limited lines of sight, it again presents interesting tactical choices. The fog of war, covering mines, trenches, etc., is such a small change with tremendous impact. The ability to analyze the terrain is even more important now than ever before. Maps are expansive and, in my opinion, well designed. The smallest scenario I've encountered was company size, which is about medium, and that's the size Valor Victory mechanics really start to shine. I really do dislike smaller size scenarios in the main game, as I feel they force you to play a certain way and overly rely on luck due to inability to soak up any losses whatsoever. This, however, is not a perfect release, and there are some bugs. But they are, for the most part, minor and nowhere close to the game-breaking ones that Kursk DLC released with. One thing to note is that I've encountered quite a few game crashes when tabbing out, as can be evidenced from my release streams. I have reported the bugs encountered so far, and the dev advised that the fixes should come out early in the new year, so a bit of silver lining there. Unfortunately, the most requested quality of life features are still missing. So if you are looking for movement points being retained if you misclick away from a unit that is moving, or hex information tooltips, or multiplayer opponent's turn replay, these unfortunately are all still AWOL. But a little birdie told me that changes to the way mortars work will be in the next patch, and we can all stop worrying about shelling our own men due to misclicking. The AI is very spotty. On the defense, they are decent and can surprise you with their brilliance in the use of their off-map assets. While trying to bait them with a few fire teams to expend these limited resources on one of my streams, AI ignored the bait, unleashing hell only when they've seen a nice juicy stack to annihilate. On the other hand, on the assault, most of the time AI devolves to moving up to the first spotted contact and attempting to annihilate it with fire superiority, completely ignoring intervening terrain modifiers and flanking opportunities. For a well-dug-in position with reserves, it often devolves into a boring shootout with minimum losses to you and an easy win. There are only 12 scenarios, and for the price point, it's decent. But taking into consideration AI issues, half of them are only fun to play from one side. So having a few more, bringing the number to 15, would have been a fantastic package for the money. This also ties into the fact that I would have liked to see more night scenarios and more scenarios with Chinese forces. As it stands, there is only one Chinese force scenario and 2 night scenarios. I feel this is a huge missed opportunity. While I understand the single-person development studio working constraints and the reasoning behind why some maps are reused, I cannot help but feel that it would have been nice to see a larger variety of unique maps as well. In conclusion, the Pacific DLC is a solid addition to the Valor and Victory franchise. The design choices for the size of scenarios hits perfect spot with fantastic map design that is slightly let down by the variety of maps themselves. The changes to the line of sight, more emphasis on the significance of artillery, higher importance of terrain analysis, and interesting turn-by-turn decisions are a testament to developer really owning their craft. The minor bugs encountered by me are on the way to be fixed, so this shouldn't really affect your purchasing decision. But if before committing to the franchise you are waiting for such basic features to be implemented as hex info tooltips, movement points retention by your units, or opponent's turn replay in multiplayer, you'd be out of luck and would need to wait longer. If you enjoy Valor and Victory already, this DLC should be a no-brainer. Buy it, you won't regret it. If you like Squad Leader, but were put off by lack of basic quality of life features in Valor and Victory, it is ever so slowly moving in the right direction, but you'd better holding off until such time as those are fully implemented. And if you'd like to see gameplay from the Pacific DLC, I have live streams covering every single scenario included, so check them out right here. Have you had a chance to play the Pacific DLC already? Let me know your thoughts on it in the comments below. And remember kids, do gaming, not war.